Kyle the Pug.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the Kyle the Pug podcast show, episode number 20. I can't believe we've already done 20 episodes of this podcast, or at least the reboot version of that is, because we did the regular and we didn't make it to 20 episodes because I took a break, but we're going stronger than ever before, and we are doing the many episodes of this show. We're gonna keep going as long as we want to until the day I die. That's how this works. So, I apologize for being a little bit behind schedule. Penguinator is working today. Matt's actually on time for once. So,
Gotcha.
You want to go ahead and say hello on the podcast, Matthew?
Hello, America.
Oh,
Those of you from
he just-
Nantucket.
oh, God, he had to do the Frank Caliendo joke. Good God. Good God. But what's been going on with you, man? Games, life? How's that been treating you? What have you been playing, man?
Somewhat fair. I think I've been actually trying to get into some new games that possibly could be part of, I guess you consider a backlog.
That's basically what it is.
Rise of the Tomb Raider, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I just realized was a sequel to the Rise of the Tomb Raider, so I got both of those.
Okay.
At fairly decent prices. Obviously, Rise is the free one until end of July, and then Shadow of the Tomb Raider was actually really cheap. It was like maybe $19, and it normally was $59.99.
Oh, nice.
And both of them look like an incredible.
Were
game.
they like on a discount sale for PSN?
Yeah, I think it was a summer sale at PS.
Oh,
PS4
okay,
having.
that makes sense. Okay.
But they're all really good. Great storylines in them. Great gameplay so far I've seen. But I'm considering maybe either, I don't know, for a future down the road stream, doing Rise and then do Shadow. Straight Tomb Raider streams all the way.
Actually, speaking of streams, you're actually I noticed that you were taking a break from streaming like it's in general. So like I said,
Yeah.
I completely understand, because I know you've been going through a lot, especially with your kid having a fever. Prayers to the little one. And you don't get the test results until, I believe, later on this week, because you said like 5 days, like you had to wait. So, yeah, give
5
us
to
a little
10
more.
days.
Yeah, so that's kind of a long hassle and
Yeah.
wait. So, yeah, give us a little info on what happened exactly.
I was anticipating it was just teething, because typically you get a fever with teething for little babies.
Mhm.
And I guess he was having at least more than one tooth coming in at one time. So
Ooh.
he actually had
You get his
top-
baby teeth like right off the
Yeah.
bat.
Yeah,
That's
2 of his top teeth just I think came in. I think he has one on the bottom too. One he had previously, but he was very lethargic, very out of it when I saw him.
Mhm.
So I was very worried about it, and so we called the doctor, and they're just saying it's probably teething related, but just to be on the safe side, because he was not getting any better and he had a very rough night. I took him over to one of those drive-through COVID testing facilities, so they did the testing for
Okay.
him, and they
Yeah.
said to get back in 5 to 10 days. I don't think it's COVID, because he's much better, a little more into it, and hasn't had to have medication since like noon on Friday, I believe. Friday or Saturday. So he's doing much better, so I don't think it's COVID-19, thankfully, but it's good to know if he has it or not.
Because he was sleeping, like, when you were trying to get him to wake up, he wasn't really waking up. Kind of reminds me of my dog Mandy up in Colorado. Sometimes when they're trying to, wake her up to, like, do something, sometimes she'll just, like, sleep through the day, which is, like, that's usually what old dogs do during those times, so... Well, like I said, as long as, like I said, the baby, hopefully the little guy's okay, tests come back negative. I'm pretty sure they will come back negative, but I don't know, I've heard, like, way shocking things, way worse things happen to, like, other people before, but all you gotta do is just hope and pray at this point.
I mean, other than that, another future game that I'm definitely excited to play when it comes out, and especially the beta, is the Marvel Avengers game.
You were talking about that last week, I think, too.
Yeah, I decided to pre-order it, just because looking at the reveal, and that's something one of my videos I'm going to be posting is just my reaction to the reveal of the early gameplay and all that fun stuff that they've had it posted. I'm very, very impressed by it, and actually they have, and I mentioned this in the video too, that they have a lot of big shoes to fill, or because of the fact that Marvel Spider-Man was such a success. Everybody was buying it, everybody loved it, and it's very replayable. I still have the game. But if this is the same people that made Marvel Spider-Man, yeah, they're really going to have to step their game up even tenfold with all these superheroes in one game. But so
tenfold's an understatement, just more like 20-fold.
Yeah. It looks really, really good, and I obviously expect to have a couple of DLCs in that Avengers thing coming out too.
Oh yeah.
Just like Spider-Man had 3 DLCs, which were very well put together. But that's part of my back. I mean, I did try Erica. You've probably already seen that one.
Yeah, I saw like a little bit of it.
Yeah, I might go back to that down the road though.
But how much did that cost, that Erica game?
It was curious. Free. It's actually the 3 free games of this month were Erica, Rise of the Tomb Raider,
for PS Plus. Okay.
Yeah, and 2K20 was also one. I've tried that. I wasn't really a fan, so I just deleted it.
Yeah, I mean, the only time I've ever played like a basketball game of anything like that was just on Xbox, and I don't know what it is with basketball games on Xbox, but I feel like the controls are more comfortable for me to play on that game, like any 2K game. Yeah, just like X, A, Y, B. I don't know, just the passing and the shooting. It's just I tried on the PlayStation, just like no, I just can't do it. Just I'm more comfortable with an Xbox controller. I don't know. Maybe that's just me, but I don't know. Everybody else could be something like it's different for the other people, but that's just my personal preference, honestly. But like I said, it's not
matters.
Yeah, Xbox Lives Matter, and we actually do have a lot of that here coming up here on the show. We were going to talk about here, but that's going to be a little bit later on. But what have I been doing as of life, apart from just cleaning and editing and all that other stuff? Well, my backlog is I've been kind of like jumping around a little bit with my backlog a little bit. So I've been, obviously last week I was trying to White Day, a Labyrinth Named School. I was trying to get the best ending for that, and not just the best ending, but I'm trying to complete it on hard mode, which that will be like another stream later on, which will be kind of tedious because there's like doodle drawings on the walls on hard mode that you gotta find in order to unlock another story after you beat it, and that game is so full of Easter eggs, it's nuts. Like, I stopped playing it like a while back, but then I got back into it again, so just to try to get the true ending on my backlog, so I'm working on that. I might try to play it this week, just because I'm at the final boss. Or I'm getting towards like the actual true ending final boss, and I want to at least like look up, like, because I looked up like some pieces on how the final boss is going to be played out, and it's gonna give you epilepsy if you're not ready for it. So luckily, I mean, I don't get that, but it feels like sometimes I do get that just for like flashing lights and all that, but. I mean, it's not really flashing lights, though. It would kind of make you feel dizzy, though. I'll just put it in more in that category. So I'm going to try to work on that for the moment. So, yeah, that's number 1. Number 2 is, obviously, Oracle of Season. I haven't played too much of that because there's another game and that's going to be on number 3. I'm going to get to that here in a second. Which, number 2, Oracle of Seasons, I'm in the second dungeon. Haven't really, played too much of it. I will get back to it eventually. And it's just a situation where I actually put that kind of behind me a little bit, and I actually moved on to another Zelda game, which, it's kind of, ironic because I, how much I love Zelda games and all that, because it's probably one of my favorite no doubt one of my favorite Nintendo franchises of all time. And the game I did, I beat Ocarina of Time, but the game that is on my backlog, it's Ocarina of Time, but it's Master Quest. So you're probably thinking, what's the difference between Ocarina of Time and Master Quest Ocarina of Time? Well, the difference is that Master Quest has more complex and harder dungeons, and the puzzles are a little bit harder to solve. So they're kind of like a little bit, let's just say some of the dungeons are like you got to go like certain like say like in the regular Ocarina of Time, you go one way, and then this version you got to go like the other way to solve puzzles. Like you kind of get what I'm saying though, a little bit. But I don't know where Matt went, but I don't know where he went. But
I was saying it sounds complicated, honestly.
It is. I mean, once you get used to it, it's actually not too terrible. But yeah, I mean, I've actually made it to the adult version, Link. So and this is kind of the ironic part for me playing. I'm playing it on an emulator, and there were some people that were like, you know, oh, you could try it on a 3DS, you could get that. I was like, no, I'm kind of poor right now. I just paid for a cell phone bill, so I was like, you know what, I'll just download an emulator, play it, whatever. And the most ironic thing is, I'm playing it on a PS4 controller, like the same exact PS4 controller that I'm showing you guys right now. Like I have. I'm playing it on this exact PS4 controller. Now, how is that even possible? Well, I just hook it up. I just hook up the USB over to the PC, plug in the PS4 controller, bam, just set up the buttons, the configurations, the attacks, you know, defend, block, you know, camera angles, whatever, everything. I just like completely just set it up to where it's a lot more comfortable playing than it is on an actual keyboard, which would be really hard to do. But that's just me, though. I'm so glad I got to set that up on a PS4 controller, because it's weird, but I actually like it, like playing the game on a PS4 controller. I know it sounds like kind of like an oxymoron a little bit, playing an N64 game with a PS4 controller on an emulator on PC, but hey, like I said, it works for me. But yeah, I'll have to show you how to do that, though, Matt. It's actually not too hard to set up a PS4 controller to PC, especially if you're doing a wired connection. That's super easy to do. But yeah, that's my backlog stories. Do I have anything else on my backlog? I don't think there's anything else other than that, though. At least for me. Unless I'm not remembering something, then maybe that's kind of like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. But that's like the only 3 I've played as of right now. But oh well, like I said, that's what's keeping me occupied, and I might continue more of a Master Quest later on, probably when I get finished editing with the podcast part at least. But all right, so that being said, why don't we get on to some video game news on what's going on in the world of video games and sports. I don't think you guys are ready for this, because we have this is quite the big speculation that happened over the weekend. So if you guys don't remember the infamous Super Mario 64 Easter egg, the conspiracy clue about Luigi being in the game, saying like, oh, it's never gonna happen, it's fake, it's that, blah blah blah. And then until 2 days ago, and this was like on a Saturday, basically what happened was that somebody actually, well, I wouldn't say data mined or coded, somebody actually found like some beta stuff for the game, and they actually confirmed that Luigi was going to be in the actual game, but they kind of scrapped the idea due to the fact that they had some problems with his model design. So basically, if you don't know what the L is real 2401 is, so it's basically an Easter egg, like I said before, / theory in Super Mario 64, and I was mentioning before, it involves Luigi and his absence from the game. And this basically it's led to like many theories and fake cheat codes about his non-existent appearance. So a Mario game without Luigi, it is, like I said, was kind of shocking though. So on July 25th, which was obviously on Saturday, so files were found in a leaked beta of Mario 64, and I was mentioning like a couple of seconds ago, Luigi's model was found with some voice audio. So, and if you guys, the origin was that Super Mario 64 was going to be a 2-player game with Mario and Luigi as playable characters, but the system's compatibilities at the time prevented that from happening, and Luigi was taken out of the game. Luigi did, however, finally make his Nintendo 64 debut in Mario Kart 64. Now, if you don't remember, Matt, I don't know if you played Super Mario 64. Maybe you have. But in the courtyard castle, there is a statue in the heart of the courtyard next to a Big Boo's haunt, which is the statue, shows like a giant star with a blurry inscription beneath it. It would be like, even though it is hard to read, though, it is kind of like legible. The text on the inscription can be like pronounced as either Eternal Star or El Israel 2401, depending on the player's viewing angle. While, Eternal Star, named after a Mario Party map, which, like I said, which kind of made more sense considering the star directly above the inscription. People quickly latched on to the El is real idea and was thinking that El stood for Luigi, and therefore Luigi would have been in the game the entire time. One theory was that the 2401 represented every gold coin in the world of the game, and by collecting them all, the player would have to come back to the statue, where then Luigi would emerge as the playable character. And while those theories were going on, the most popular logical theory was a reference to the game Paper Mario, in which the game was released on, in America on February 5th, 2001, very close to the date of the inscription, 2401, and Luigi was a character in that game. And as of this current conspiracy, because you gotta love conspiracy theories, right? 24 years and 1 month after the release of the game, the source code was leaked, which included a previously unseen model of Luigi confirming his existence, thus completing the prophecy. So, Matt, I don't know if you saw that, but this speculation just blew up the internet. Like, the internet was going insane. Like, how does it feel just to have, Luigi finally being confirmed after all these years of trying to figure out where he was in the entire game? Like, what do you think about that? Like, it's nuts. It's insane.
How many years has this been a theory for? Like,
it's been 24 years. Yeah, 24 years. Exactly 24 years and 1 month. So they were kind of just like putting the 2 and 2 together, 2401. Yeah, 24 years, 1 month. That's basically what it was. People have been making theories about this for a long time. An extremely long time.
What would cause them to look back in this? Has this guy been researching this for years and years and years and just finally had a breakthrough?
Well, here's the other thing I was going to mention here, too, before I answer that question. This might speculate, like we were talking about, the Nintendo Switch Super Mario 64 possible remaster rumors that were going to be, ported, not ported, but like, added to the Switch. I mean, I guess you can kind of say ported. But, yeah, this might add up to that hype, though. Now that Luigi's actually been confirmed, do you think he could actually, like, be like an actual playable character in the possible remake? But what do you think?
That would make sense.
Do you think it would live up to the hype, though?
Oh, I mean, I would hope so. With all these years of anticipation of was he actually in the game or not? Now they figure out he was coded in the game.
Yeah, but they never put him. But they never put him in there in the actual final game. It was supposed to be Super Mario and Luigi 64, but that got obviously canned, and it was just renamed Super Mario 64. And I actually looked up some articles and some videos on it, and yeah, some of these theories that people that come up with are I mean, some of those are really, really on point.
Yeah, I would really, honestly, for their sake, I would hope that they could live up to the hype on that particular aspect. Just because people seeing how the internet blew up with this news about him potentially being in that game. They need to deliver on that. They absolutely need to put him in there.
Yeah.
Because the internet's going to destroy them if they don't do it.
Like, because if you remember the Super Mario 64 DS version, it actually had Luigi in the game as a playable character. Because you had Mario, Luigi, Yoshi, and Wario. You could play as all 4 of those characters. And you had an extra boss, extra Easter egg, and a bunch of other jazz. And basically, I wouldn't be surprised if they added those features, like just to rescue certain characters. I don't know if it's going to be exactly like the DS version where you have to rescue a certain character just to play as them again, but I wouldn't be surprised if they added like similar levels, just, like Easter eggs, new bosses other than King Babam, King Womp, and what was it, the Wiggler on Tiny Huge Island, I think.
Yeah.
It was something like that though, but yeah, well, apart from like Bowser, obviously the main boss of the game, but I just feel like more bosses and more Easter eggs to solve from, like, especially like if you wanted to get like a power star or something, like just by solving an Easter egg from like references from past Mario games that you had to do in order in this current version just to get to the power star, just to earn one. I feel like they need to do something like that. And Penguin and I were actually talking about this a while back, and he actually said, you know, a similar thing with that too.
Yeah, that's.
I don't know.
Man,
This really excited me. This really excited me just by, you know, looking this up. And I was looking at some more. It didn't just appear in Super Mario 64 also. So the message can also be found, like L is real, in Dodongo's Cavern in Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. And I actually kind of am. I actually looked up a photo because it actually shows like the same exact, you know. It's same exact lettering, same exact image, and it's nuts. It's in like a lot of video games, which normally you wouldn't see that, but it's literally insane. But the message can also be found in Dojo Pathway and Club Penguin Rewritten, and of course it was basically in 2016. You know, in a subreddit, Retro Gaming, the theory was supposed to be debunked before anyone could realize, in a letter from Nintendo dated May 7th, 1998, which stated, you know, L's real message is a joke put there by programmers, but obviously that is not the case. So, you know, in basically, this is another thing I was reading at, but Luigi was going to appear in Super Mario 64 too, but was canceled due to commercial failure of the Nintendo 64 disk drive. So they were going to make a sequel on that, but obviously that got canned due to that fact, which we're just looking about this now. It's just like this really excites me. Like I'm not the kind of person to like raise my expectations, honestly, but if it happens, I'm going to be spending a lot of money on the Mario remasters if they happen to the Switch. Like, oh man. I'm telling you right now, it's gonna be a thing. I hope it's a thing, and if it's not a thing, I don't know what to do.
Well, the L will absolutely be real if they don't actually code him into a remake. I'm gonna put that right now. But wasn't there also like another gigantic like a detailed leak including like it was evidence of a PC Pokemon game that they use use a Game Boy Advance as a controller back in 04?
I literally thought you were gonna. I literally thought well, I said Pokemon and PC. I thought you were gonna say like Pixelmon for a second, but that was like a Minecraft version of Pokemon. But obviously that's not the case there. But I remember something similar to that. I haven't really done much research, honestly, but it's been a long time, so I'll have to definitely like look that up when I get the chance to. But yeah. I mean, like I said, I know I asked this question. And I'll probably ask it again. Will this add on to the hype for the Mario 64 possible remasters?
I would think so. Yeah, I mean, considering the internet just blew the roof off of the Nintendo. I wouldn't say freaks, but the Nintendo fans. Like, I mean, if you look at articles today from like the L is real, like the #1 thing on there, like. I think it was comic book website was saying that Super Mario 64 modders discover the code, and then he says fans are freaking out. I mean, that just...
I mean, anything Mario related, it's going to be... People are going to freak out anything Mario related, because Mario is basically the face of the Nintendo franchise. It's not even up for debate.
Yeah. But then it's like, I mean, you look at like the actual titles of half these articles, I mean... Fans ecstatic. Hello? I mean, you gotta do that. Otherwise, the L will be absolutely real if they don't include him into it, unlike the last time. Absolutely. You gotta.
Yeah, just they'll have. Hopefully, there will be the L man in there, and hopefully he doesn't take any L's. But
no.
No, please, no more. Just have the L just stand for Luigi, please. No more L's. Like, actual L's, like taking losses. We need all the characters, not just Luigi, but like I said, Yoshi, Wario, and yeah, yeah. And this is the thing. I'm going back to all the characters that were in there on Super Mario 64. Like I said, Mario obviously, because he was obviously the star of the entire game. Peach was in there. Yoshi was in there when you got 120 stars, and then you can actually go up to the top of the castle and get a special triple jump power up, and get like 100 lives on top of that, because Yoshi was obviously there. Toads were in there, and every single Mario character was in there, but not Luigi, though. Luigi needs the love, man, I swear. Like, he feels... he's so overshadowed when it comes to, like, you know, Super Mario-related stuff, and I just feel bad. I just feel bad for the guy. Like, and Luigi's Mansion, obviously, hit, like, 1, 2, and 3. Obviously, those are classic hit... Well, obviously, you know, cult hit games, but, yeah, I just feel like he needs, like, his own actual game, apart from, like, Luigi's Mansion, you know, 1, 2, and 3.
Wasn't N64.com offering $100 anybody could prove that Luigi was playable?
I think somebody mentioned that on a Discord. I don't remember too much of the details exactly, like, saying, like, if somebody could offer them $100 if somebody actually had, like, actual footage, like, put it up on YouTube saying, like, or if you know how to unlock Luigi, show it here, and all that jazz. And I just like, no.
I mean, if I remember reading correctly, there's something about, like, the mystery of this was also compounded when that the plaque also appeared on the I think it was, how do you pronounce it? Dodongo's cave in Ocarina of Time.
Oh yeah, Dodongo's cavern. Yeah.
Yeah, cavern. Yeah. But,
because it was in a few games too. Because it was if I don't know, you never played Zelda Ocarina of Time, but if you go up to the top floor of the Dodongo's cavern, which obviously you take the lift to go up there, the sign says the exact same thing, even though it reads something different, but the sign actually says the exact same thing.
That's interesting.
Yeah, and I was mentioning it's also in, like, a bunch of other video games too, as we mentioned before. And speaking of moving on here, speaking of beta stuff, I do want to mention that, you know, Pokemon Gen 4 actually had some beta leak reveals, you know, just like, and this has been going on for, like, I don't know, the past 2 days, somewhere around there. But real quick, before we get to our thoughts, actually, or Matt's thoughts in particular, I'm gonna leave it to future me to obviously just, you know, explain a little bit more about that. So future me, why don't you go ahead and take it away.
So as Podcast Kyle was saying, there's some really cool pictures of Gen 4 beta Pokemon before they got scrapped. And some of these Pokemon vary from, for example, like Garchomp to Darkrai to Giratina to Arceus to Gabite. I mean, the number of Pokemon is insane. Some of these spawns that I think should have stayed with that design in the game, and others just kind of look flat out derpy looking. But that's just the beauty of all these, you know, beta Pokemon that got released over the internet. So the person who tweeted this out is Dr. Lava's Lost Pokemon, and I will put this person's Twitter in the description of this podcast video so you can all go check out what Pixie tweeted out and all that jazz. So with all that being said, I'm gonna bring it back to Podcast Kyle, but hey, you could use a bit of a mic upgrade, but you're doing great, my dude. Back to you.
And thank you very much, future me. I appreciate you giving me the heads up on the mic. So like I said, thank you, man. Thank you. I'll definitely be using this mic very, very soon. So Matt, your thoughts on the and I was showing this to you before the show started. So what'd you think of these Gen 4 beta designs? If you go to this man's Twitter page, as future me said.
Oh my gosh, the Giratina is probably the one that where I'm like, are you freaking kidding me?
I actually kind of liked it. I actually liked it, honestly.
How did you get from one to the other, though?
It kind of looks like a griffin, though.
Yeah.
It's like a griffin, but with walrus facial hair.
Yeah.
It kind of was a griffin. It looked like a griffin until, like, the face was just like, it just didn't have, like, the thing I was looking for. I was kind of sad.
Well, then, I mean, also, like, the Zelf and those legendaries had like these
Oh,
little silver little
Rotom
things in their
looks
hair.
like Rotom looks like a little plasma ball. That's all it looks like.
Yeah.
It was like it's like somebody splooged paint all over it. That's what it looked like.
Yeah. Darkrai wasn't that bad though. I mean, Darkrai wasn't too different. I do like the final product, but Darkrai, the initial one they had, I mean, if they want to make that like a shiny version of Darkrai, I mean, I could see that, or another version of it, kind of like Giratina has two different forms. But I kind of like it. It wasn't too bad. But my favorite one, I think the better one, was the beta version of Togekiss. Now, Togekiss on that version looks friggin' sick.
Ooh,
I mean, just
that's
little
good.
mohawk going up there.
Oh.
Very, very good.
Oh, I'm looking at the I'm looking at the Probopass beta version, and oh my god, they just look so derpy.
Oh, Gibbles, yeah, all of Gibble's evolutionary line looks like a bunch of turds of poop that just like evolved. It's like a brown shark. What?
Actually, to be honest, the Garchomp might be my favorite one.
Yeah, the design of Garchomp is great, but the color is like, oh my god, no. It looks like an orange. Is what it looks like. Honestly.
I don't mind it. I've seen worse. I've honestly seen worse. Like Gibble and Gabite. Like I said, I've seen worse, but I like the face designs for it. Like the face design is actually really really cool. But
Arceus though, what it looked like? That's
Arceus.
Like something my 5-year-old could come up with something better than that. Holy crap, that's awful.
Somebody just put it on just like Doodle or something, and just shoot.
That's literally what it looks like. It's like a doodle version of a Pokemon. Yikes.
And the best part about all of this is I turn on notifications just to actually look at this, and I am more intrigued every time this person tweets out something, because I literally just want to look at it and just go, WTF is this? Like, why was this even a thing? Who in their right mind designed these designs? Like, some of them are actually kind of glad that got canned, though, but like the Probopass one. Yeah, like, Probopass was one. Carnivine actually looks, just kind of derpy and crazy. It looks like more of those, one of those, animated shows that you would see that got canned on, what was it, PBS? It was like one of those characters that would, like, I would say, like, you kind of like had an idea for a design of a kids show character, and then they were just like, no, that's too creepy. We're just gonna ban it.
I mean, Rotom really looks like his initial version looks like what happens if future Rotom exploded. He'd just be this big old shockwave of just a Pokemon. That's what it really literally looks like to me.
But I was looking down here, and it's I'm looking at the Twitter page right now. The beta version for Shinx, Luxray, and what was it, Luxio? Yeah, I know I kind of said that in the wrong order, but whatever. But they were kind of cute, honestly. I actually did like those, Pokemon. That's just me, though. That's just me. But
yeah, I don't know about those things. I mean, that Arceus one's pretty bad.
Oh well, I think it's that and Probopass. Like that's my tie between the two. I don't know. What do you guys think? If you guys are watching this on YouTube, let me know in the comments which one is bad. And if you guys want to go to Dr. Lava's Lost Pokemon, I'll like I said, I'll as future me was saying, I will link that also in the description. So definitely go check that out. So, it's a bunch of cool designs though. So I'm very excited for that as well. But anyways, wanted to get to some of the beta stuff out of the way. So let's go to some Xbox Series games for the showcase that happened on Thursday. So this was quite the interesting situation that dropped for the Xbox games. It wasn't really much of the Xbox, Series X. It was more the games that they're actually going to be coming out with. And a couple of games actually did intrigue me a little bit. So as soon as I don't know why I had this page loaded up and now it's reloading again, but I don't know. But one of the games they did kick off with, this is not a shocker here, Halo Infinite, which is obviously gonna be set around, Master Chief. It's gonna be basically 6 months after the last Halo game, and I am a Halo person, but it's been a while since I played it on Xbox, but I looked at the gameplay for it. Oh my god, it looks so beautiful. Like, the graphics, what did you think of it? Did you see this at all?
I did. I actually watched a little bit of a reveal of it, of the Halo aspect of things. Halo Infinite, actually, I mean, the biggest one is the new weapons look really good, and the grappling hook, I know, made some people, not to be too vulgar on the YouTube side, but they basically orgasmed to see a grapple hook. I know some YouTubers are like, "Oh my gosh, take my money now, please!" And also, they did a little Call of Duty shout out there with a little sliding in the game too. So,
so 343 Industries said that the game will run at a flawless 60 frames per second, and that's nothing more, nothing less than that.
Interesting.
So yeah, that's basically it's going to be super clean though. So yeah, everybody is that's one of the games that did intrigue me though. So Avowed was another game that they introduced here, so I'll probably just go down the line here in order. Is the newest game from famed studio Obsidian Entertainment, and they debuted with the first trailer of the game today, revealing that it will be a fantasy-themed first-person RPG, so it's kind of an interesting touch there. And the other one that everybody was excited about, I know Matt not really an RPG person, except for playing Pokemon, but that's kind of like, that counts as an RPG, so technically you do play a RPG game. But Microsoft took off the wraps of a new entry in, the Fable series, which will be developed by Playground Games. Basically, everybody was excited for Fable, for the world premiere of that trailer, and, I mean, I'm not really a Fable person. I wasn't, I was like, I mean, it looks cool, but it's not like, my cup of tea. But I know there were some people that were, like, super excited for it when the game actually dropped, which was pretty exciting for that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. That's just basically me. But so Forza Motorsport, which is another game they announced here, which going down the line here. So it's the next game in the popular racing series developed by Turn 10 Studios, and it said that it will have ray tracing and will run in 4K at 60 frames per second. So that should be quite. I mean, I've played a couple of racing games, not of that game though, but I've had moments where I've actually played it. Like I played a racing game, and one of them was San Francisco Rush 2049. That was on the Nintendo 64 a long time ago, but and of course, obviously, yeah, Mario Kart and all those. Those are all those other games way back when. I played a little bit Need for Speed, and I think that was it for just for the racing game wise. Like I haven't really done too much of that, since that time with the racing stuff. But it looks pretty fun. I mean, I probably won't get it, but I mean, for those who will get it, well, they'll probably have a super fun time with it. That is. But you getting this, Matt, or no?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, am I getting this? What do you mean?
Like, are you gonna have like a future investment in this game? Is what I'm asking.
Probably not. Honestly, I mean, I've kind of faded away from the Xbox side of things, but I mean, I'll always take a peek whenever there's something that comes out. Like the Halo series I think it's the last. Other than Black Ops, that was kind of the last big like Xbox series game I played. Was that particular franchise. Yeah, I looked into it, but I haven't really kind of dabbled back into the Xbox. I have an Xbox One, but it's just collecting dust at this rate, honestly.
Yeah, just don't sell your consoles. Yeah, that's the number one tip. Just use it for collection, like if you don't feel like playing it anymore. But Tetris Effect Connected builds on the original critical hit by adding a new co-op and competitive multiplayer modes you can play locally and online. The game is set to launch first on Xbox this holiday season. So, thoughts on that, Matt?
Tetris Effect. Now, is that like Tetris, as in like back in the day?
Yeah, it's basically what it is. Like back in the day, like Tetris, Tetris 99. Obviously, the Nintendo Switch, you against 99 other people, basically a Tetris Battle Royale, and obviously this Tetris version.
It seems pretty interesting. I mean, again, it's not really my cup of tea, but it looks like it's a very unique take on things. But,
definitely. I mean, if I had an Xbox, I probably would try to invest into that, but sadly, I do not have an Xbox. So
it is okay.
Destiny 2, which in my personal opinion is, like I said, that's still going on. I mean, I've only played that game like one time. I never really touched it since then. But Bungie showed a new trailer for Destiny 2 Beyond Light and announced that Destiny 2 and previous expansions will be coming to the Xbox Game Pass, and that will arrive on September, while the Beyond Light expansion will join the service on November 10th. So, you're not a Destiny person. I know I played it a little bit way back when. Like, it was like, I mean, it's okay, but it's not like, I would, like, play it over and over,
Yeah.
Would you even like consider that even if it was on PlayStation?
No, and I think it actually might be for PlayStation Destiny 2, because I know I've seen Momo playing it quite a bit. She swears by it. She absolutely loves that game, but...
Oh, I mean, if people love that game, more power to them. But,
that's probably a solid no for me on that end.
Okay. Well,
I'm a boring gamer.
Yeah, I'm a boring gamer, too. I'm there with you. But, Balan Wonderland, not Wonderland, excuse me, Wonder World, is a new Square Enix game from Yuichi Naka, former head of the Sonic team, and it is described as the action game of action games, and will have players switching in between more than 80 different costumes to navigate the world. It'll be available in spring 2021 on both Xbox Series X and Xbox One. So, I mean, I played a couple of Square Enix games, of course, Life is Strange included. But I think that was like the most infamous one I played. But I mean, the design for it actually does look pretty decent. But I don't think it'd be something I would get though, honestly. But that's just me.
I'm there with you, man. Kind of in the same boat. Very
All right.
Underwhelming games, honestly.
All right, so Everwild is the newest game from Rare, and today's trailer showed humans exploring a world filled with fantasy colorful animals. So that's like one of those one of the newer ones, but I mean that looks okay though. Like I said, the Outer Worlds Peril on Gorgon is a new noir theme expansion coming to Obsidian's RPG that was released last year, and that will be available September 9th, so that's like kind of like minor a little bit. So, and this is the one that actually kind of got me interested a little bit, which is the developer of the Life is Strange series. So it's the game called Tell Me Why, is a new game from Don't Nod Entertainment, and this game you'll be playing as twins exploring memories of their childhood, and their first chapter is set to release August 27th. Because when I watched this trailer, and I actually do like Life is Strange, the game, it actually brought me those vibes. Like, it does look... This was one of the games that actually kind of piqued my interest a little bit. But that's... Yeah, Matt, you don't look very interested. Say like,
it sounds like a Backstreet Boys made game, to be honest. Tell me why. The continuation of that game called Ain't Nothing But a Heartbreak? No. Okay.
You never know.
No, I really didn't honestly get a chance to really divulge into a lot of the games, but I mean, all the power to them. It probably end up being a really like a sleeper, honestly.
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be a sleeper game for sure. Like, you actually took the words right out of my mouth there. But yeah. Microsoft revealed Psychonauts 2, which is, upcoming trailer developed by Double Fine, and protagonist Raz returns in this new game to once again travel through minds, and it's coming in 2021. No date exactly, but they do said the year was coming out from there. So, Crossfire X is a collaboration between Control developer Remedy Entertainment and Smilegate, the Korean developer, in the hugely popular FPS Crossfire, basically. That's kind of like what the title's named off of. This will be released later on this year, but I don't know if they actually had a date for that, but it's somewhere along that line. But, I mean, it looks okay. not really. I'm not really an Xbox person. I'm just going through the list here, just so you know. Hey, it's kind of cool, you know. I mean, like I said, no hate for Xbox. I'm just not that kind of person. But Dragon Quest, I believe it was number 11, Echoes of an Elusive Age Definitive Edition, the expanded version that hit the RPG that was first released for the Nintendo Switch last year, will be available on Xbox for the first time on December 4th. So a Switch game going to Xbox Game, well, not Game Pass, but to Xbox Series X, which is quite the interesting turn. So, like I said, not into those sort of JRPG games, except, like I said, except for Pokemon, Zelda, and Undertale, for that matter. But thanks to a friend of mine. But like I said, I'm just not the person that would probably like play that sort of thing. So, Stalker 2, the next game in the first-person shooter and survival horror series, is coming to the Xbox Series X. And maybe this game might be right up your alley. It's a shooter and survival horror game. So, and I know you like that sort of thing. Matt, 100% you like that sort of thing.
Sometimes. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Depends on mood.
Predator.
Yeah, that lasted a whole, 2 days, and then I was like, nah, I'm done with this game.
Yeah,
not because I was bad at it, it's only because it was just kind of ugh, boring.
Yeah, I mean, kind of a waste of $40, honestly, if you ask me.
Yeah. Fortunately, I didn't buy the most expensive pack. Marcus, I feel bad for the most, because he went all out and bought the big one, and I'm like, wow, you really bought something on something you're unsure about? Like, okay, more power to you, buddy. More power to you. But, yeah, I think, did they say that Stalker 2 was... They were saying it was, set in a radiated area?
Yeah, it's kind of it kind of has, a Fallout sort of vibe to it.
And it's so this is kind of a nuclear disaster kind of a thing that's happening in this particular aspect?
Yeah, somewhere around that line, yeah. It kind of has those kind of vibes to it. I didn't really look in too much of that, but I mean, from the look and the design of it, it actually does look like it would be set somewhere in there. I might be wrong, so don't quote me on it, but that's just how I feel.
It's almost like a sci-fi thriller in a sense, only because there's creatures growing underground labs and such, and you're the brave explorer that's as they say in the movie trailers, venturing into the unknown. So I mean, I could see that thing being a sleeper as well, honestly.
Alright, so moving on to the next game, The Gunk, an adventure game from the makers of the SteamWorld franchise, is a third-person action-adventure game where you explore a mysterious gunk-filled planet. Not much is known about that, so details will be coming towards that soon. So, Phantasy Stars Online 2 New Genesis is the latest entry to Phantasy Star Online 2 universe from Sega, and they will launch in 2021. So, that is those two minor games that were dropped during the Xbox Games Showcase. So, The Medium is a new psychological horror game from Bloober Team, the studio behind the Blair Witch, that lets you explore a physical and a spirit world at the same time as protagonist Mary Ann. And basically, Microsoft got an early look at it during, the Xbox Series X Games Showcase in May, but Microsoft and Bloober debuted a new trailer at Thursday's event. So that would be quite the interesting, plot twist where you actually get to explore a physical and a spirit world at the same time. Sounds kind of creepy, though, but I do like that. That actually does sound really, really cool.
Yeah, those horror games are not usually my my go-tos, honestly, but I mean, it does sound very, very intriguing.
I'll probably definitely take a look at the playthrough once it comes out. And the last game the last game that they dropped over at the showcase was Sable, which is a new open-world adventure from Raw Fury and indie developer Shedworks with a beautiful art style, and that launches also in 2021 as well. So that's going to be quite the interesting set of games everybody, the Xbox Series X showcase actually dropped. So what your thoughts on the entire games list, the entire setup?
Well, I know they had Watch Dogs Legion in there too.
Yeah, usually sometimes they don't really add like any of those games until like way later on Twitter. I've noticed that especially with like Nintendo, mini directs too, or direct minis, I should say, because I don't know why I still keep saying that, but I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it's used to it. Everybody's saying like, oh, where's an actual Nintendo Direct? Like I said, just be happy with what you have. But
yeah, we can't really do much about that. I mean, COVID-19, hello? Are you people paying attention or something?
yeah, that's why Nintendo has the disclaimer note, like, right every single time. Like, that they actually drop something. But anyways, enough about some video games. Let's go on to some sports really quick. Well, not really quick, because we actually do have a lot to talk about with especially Major League Baseball. That actually started on Thursday, so there were quite a number of games that went down. Like I said, Dodgers are playing the Giants, and I think your team, Matt, the Angels, who were they playing last weekend? Because I know we're going to talk about
Athletics.
Oh, they're actually still playing them. Okay, so I know I thought it was like a 3-game series, but I guess they're still kind of going on. But something happened with your boy though in the Angels Athletics game, so I'm gonna let you kind of take over with what happened, and because we were talking about this like right before the show started, and I want you to touch up on some things with some things you made your skin crawl. So I'll leave it to you on that.
Apparently in the back end of the A's game today, and Andrelton Simmons was trying to leg out a single in the 9th inning. I think they were losing 3-0.
Yeah, they lost 3-0, by the way.
Yeah, they did. And he actually, I think he ended up rolling his ankle on the first base bag. Like his left ankle I think he hit the corner of it, and then he kind of like, you know how when you land on it, it kind of bends over a little bit.
Yeah,
he put full force like that onto that, so he might have a sprain of his ankle, which means he'll probably hit the DL more than likely because they need him defensively at least. But yeah,
I was gonna say like apart from pitching, like I mean the defense is okay, but apart from like pitching, yeah, you guys, that's kind of a huge blow.
I mean that kind of adds to the disappointment of this weekend to start the season, because you got the much anticipated appearance of Shohei Ohtani back on the mound again, then he couldn't even get out of the first inning. Like, he just got shelled by the A's. He's walking everybody, and then they just kept hitting off of him. And Madden is like, no, I'm going to pull him quick. I can't do this. So they pulled him real fast with the bases loaded. And
oh, yeah.
Yeah. They actually almost end up coming back and winning. I know Trout, he nearly came close to hitting a 3-run home run to actually put him up. He actually was all the RBIs of the game. But yeah, that's tough to see Andrelton Simmons roll his ankle like that. So I'm hoping he's not gone for a while, because I mean they have Tommy La Stella, but he's not Andrelton Simmons. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, he's like basically the backup at this point.
Yeah, he's the bat, and Andrelton is the defense. Let's put it that way. Yeah, that was rough to see. So rough start for them. But I look on the bright side, seeing that since they expanded the amount of teams that can make the postseason, I have high hopes that the Angels can actually slip into one of those like extra slots.
Oh yeah,
for the
definitely.
A's and Astros. But I know Dark Shadow was putting stuff on Twitter having us predict, and I actually predicted from my end. I kept my Angels out of the prediction this year. I'm being a realist and seeing that the A's and the Astros are far beyond.
Yeah, Oakland's been improving as of this year. Their pitching is actually pretty phenomenal from what I've seen.
I picked against them not just because they're their rival, but also because they tended to do this flip-flop thing like the Giants did with their championships. Every other year they would be good, and then like the next year they would suck, and then they'd sell off the farm, all that fun stuff. That's why I picked against them. But now they've been consistently good the last few years. I'd be kind of foolish not to pick them. Yeah, it was rough to see that. to see Ohtani get rocked, and then you see Andrelton Simmons roll his ankle. Not a good weekend for the Angels for sure.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are kind of like, even though you guys got like a lot of firepower on that offense, it's just I don't think it's really been showing. No. It hasn't really been showing, like at least like the past, well, I know it's just the baseball's kind of just rebooting back up, so you guys have a little bit of time, but not like too much time, like as you usually have before, like at the beginning of the year. But yeah, I mean, like I said, with well, not like I said, but at least with my Dodgers, like I mean, like I said, it's the Giants. We play against them. I know we're gonna go against them hard. They're gonna go against us hard. I mean, it's rivalry. Of course, we were gonna expect the series split, and yeah, the Giants always play us good. It's just that's what happens with rivalries. Rivalry games are kind of what gets your adrenaline going. Like, you want to outbeat your rival. I mean, like, that's basically a natural feeling for baseball. Like, yeah, baseball especially, because rivalry games are like huge over there. But
yeah, and I mean, all the Dodgers. I mean, they look solid regardless of them splitting the series. But also on top of that, I mean, them locking up Betts for that long-term deal.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah, 13 years,
good.
380 million plus. Plus like certain other cash considerations. So, so yeah, that's like, well, I wouldn't say like, I guess it would be like over 400 million, but at least like 380 million plus. But that's insane.
And he beat out Mike Trout's contract. I mean, I'm not going to say he's not worthy of it, but I think it was a slight overpay. But honestly, for the Dodgers side, it was a very smart investment, because now you have whatever Bellinger is probably going to get 400 million if he keeps his pace up. But you got Bellinger, you've got like basically the new version of the Killer Bees, Bellinger and Betts on the offensive side for the next however many years. And then you got Buehler on the mound too. Who's picking up where Kershaw left off when he came up as a young pup. I mean, the Dodgers are looking very, very, very promising and very well stocked for the future. And plus, you saw what happened when Kershaw goes out with a back stiffness. Guess what happens?
Well, I mean, yeah,
Dustin May steps up and he throws really well against the Giants. And it's like,
yeah,
damn,
I mean, Kershaw's been having back problems for like the past couple of years, I would say. Yeah, same. And he's one of those. I mean, he was one of those pitchers that just like he's had his moments. He's been doing well, and I was just about to say I just don't think he's going to like last any longer anytime soon. But like I said, I just don't think I think he's had his moments. I mean, I want him to at least get like maybe a couple rings before he retires, but it's just like at this point, it's just like you're kind of running out of time, and it's only like a matter of time. But the player I like though on the Dodgers, like as of currently, probably the most underrated player, because he's such a utility man, Kike Hernandez. Like, that man can play every single position and be good at it. Like, he's second base, outfield, shortstop.
Well,
you name it.
Chris Taylor too. Those two are they're like the jack of all trades everywhere. They can play every position, and then they can hit the ball really well. Like Chris Taylor, when he first got acquired by the Dodgers, was mashing.
Oh,
he had like 25 home runs in his first full season with the Dodgers. He was killing it.
Yeah, like Kike Hernandez opening day was like 4 for 5 with a home run.
Oh no,
he was going in. He's the most underrated player on that team. Him and yeah, like you said, Chris Taylor, they are especially underrated. And they're a bunch of good motivators, too.
What was that trade they made? Who did they trade to get him? I know Chris Taylor, and then there was another big piece.
I think they signed Chris
Seattle.
Taylor. Yeah, Seattle.
No. Oh, I know what it was. It was Zach Lee. They traded Zach Lee straight up for Chris Taylor. That's what it was.
No. You're right. Yeah, it was. It was like
Zach Lee. He was considered one of their top pitching prospects at the time, but then he just fell off the map. As soon as Seattle acquired him, he just could not live up to the potential. So the Dodgers got a steal in that deal.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, not to be rhymed or anything, but yeah, that goes to show you. It just goes to show you that sometimes the Dodgers can like pull some stunts off you wouldn't even recognize. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely agree with that, 100%. But yeah, like I said, just my series thoughts. My review with with the Giants and the Dodgers. I know they split the series, but I know our back end of pitching is not. I mean, it's okay, but I know they gave up 3 runs yesterday. But I know sometimes the offense can kind of stagger a little bit, so it's like our offense could either do really good or really really bad, depending on like I said, with the situation and how the players play and how they're motivated, because sometimes they're motivated and don't worry, don't get me wrong, they're actually like a good number of guys, like there are a good number of guys on there that are just ready to play ball, like they're motivated, they're excited. It's just you see all these people like on their team, and you were mentioning the killer bees before. I wouldn't like say they're the killer bees like the original 2.0 killer bees, because I don't want to get my hopes up yet. Just trying to be real on that. But they have potential. It has potential to be like, just an absolute, a badassery set of players just to actually, help each other out. And it's like I said, as long as they win the rings, as long as they have it to back them up, I mean, that's what matters to me the most. Is just winning rings. Because like I said, there's a curse, at least for us, that let's see, 1988, so that would be like, 31 years so far, I believe, since we've at least won a ring. So, yeah, I would like to have a ring first before I would say calling them, like, killer bees anything,
You're not counting your chickens, are you?
That's exactly my point. I am not counting my chickens. No chicken counting. No chicken counting.
He's not going to risk Dark Shadow going like, oh, what about the killer bees, man? Or just riding his ass about that.
Exactly.
He will. He will. He's a Giants fan.
He definitely will.
As will probably Mama Pug as well, more than likely.
Well, yeah, they always do. I'm used to it.
It's so weird that your mom's a Giants fan, you're a Dodgers fan. It's weird. It's hard to live with a Giants fan, isn't it?
Well, actually, true story. How I became a Dodgers fan was I got that through my old man, because he was a Dodgers fan, or he still is a Dodgers fan. But I mean, at the same time, it's just like he taught me a lot of history behind the whole entire team, the club, franchise, where they came from, and I fell in love with that. I was like, yeah, definitely was. That's how I became a Dodgers fan to this day.
Yeah.
But
that's nice. That's good.
But yeah, that's the story. Long story short of it, of how I basically became a Dodgers fan. So since I'm sharing stories, how did you become an Angels fan? Just out of curiosity.
I wouldn't say I was a fan of the Dodgers growing up. I just watched them with my dad a bunch of times and just enjoyed watching baseball. I think probably if I had to pick one of my favorite Dodgers to watch was Mike Piazza. He's probably one of my favorite ones to watch.
Oh, yeah.
Because every time he came to the plate, he just would kill the ball, and he had a spectacular rookie season. I mean, I grew up with him watching...
Karros, Mondesi, Nomo. Oh, my God.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, that fantastic... The years they were basically stealing every rookie of the year. It seemed like in the 90s.
Exactly.
But I needed to like kind of an allegiance, kind of like I did with the Sacramento Kings, because I'm from here, and Sacramento was the only local team we had, and I've been a fan of them ever since. With baseball, I really needed to pick a team, and at the time, then they were called the California Angels, and so I figured that's just probably the most closest to allegiance to my home state that I could be. And I don't hate the Dodgers. I have a soft spot for them always. So when the Angels are out, I always root for them to make it all the way. Just because of the growing up watching them. So I guess you could say I'm kind of a closet Dodger fan. I guess you could say, in a sense, only because of the fact that I grew up watching. Now, if they won the World Series, I'm not gonna be one of those front-running fans going, "Oh yeah, my team won." No, I'll be like, you know what, good.
Seconds later, Matt's is just like, bop, completely changes form.
No, don't be wrong, though. If my dad buys tickets to a Dodger game, I will sport the blue, because I grew up watching them. I have a soft spot in my heart for the Dodgers. So so I'm not going to sit there and wear my Angels garb at a Dodgers-Giants game. It's not going to be like, I'm not that Cub fan that does that.
Well, actually, I've seen a couple of fans that have done that before. Like, I've seen like a Marlins fan go to like a Phillies-Giants game and just wear like complete Marlins gear, and then you hear Dwayne Kuiper, Mike Kruko's like, is this guy lost or something? Maybe he lost his way or something. I mean, I don't even like Cooper, or as I would call him, crap, but
yeah,
I don't know.
They honestly are really bad at when it comes to doing play-by-play. I mean, I'm not gonna lie, they're just no.
Even the Dodgers, and I mean, apart from Charlie Steiner, like when he does like the Dodgers radio and all that, I don't know. I just Oral Hershiser, excuse me, Hershiser. Sorry, like I was clearing my throat trying to say that.
Hershiser.
yeah, Oral, and I don't know. I don't remember who else it was. Like does the play-by-play. It's not the same without Vin. I mean, I'm not disrespecting Oral. Obviously, I love it. Yeah, I love Oral as a pitcher. Like way back when he was just absolutely.
Monica loves Oral too. Bill, not appropriate.
Yeah, please. That's kid friendly. Bill, get out of here. But
Right?
honestly, like he was just absolutely dominant. But then you look at him like as a color commentator. I don't even like him as color commentator. I don't know. Maybe it might be just not my thing.
Yeah,
could have done
Charlie
like
Steiner has a. I mean, Steiner. The only thing he's kind of like Group and Kai when they're like when they're on the radio, they don't kind of paint the picture. He just says, "Oh, he hit it to left field. It's back. It's back." I'm like, can you say what's happening? Like, what's the fielder doing? Is he staring? Is he staring at the ball as it goes to left field or something?
It's like if John Madden actually did a color commentary for baseball. He's like, and then he's like, and the ball is about to leave the yard. It's gonna go taking an archway all the way out to right field or the opposite way, and then you have the guy staring at the ball going all the way over the fence, and that's how you hit a home run.
That's gonna be a home run. Oh my gosh, no, but that was kind of the background story to why I decided to be an Angels fan. Is because California Angels. I needed to pick my own allegiance, and I decided to.
That is true.
I went with the Angels.
Everybody
does.
The
California Angels, and they had Tim Salmon back in his heyday. And then they switched their name from California to the Anaheim Angels, which is the way they still should have kept it as. They won a ring as the Anaheim Angels. Hello, Artie, are you listening? You can't win a championship when you're known as Los Angeles Angels. Come on, there's only one LA franchise. Give me a break here. But
yeah,
we went
like
to
the
Anaheim
Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim, of Disneyland, of California, of the realest, of the Alexes, of the Andrews. I don't know.
I really the goat. He's not a goat.
He's not a goat, Daddy.
I love, by the way, when it comes to all of the. My dad always laughed at this one when I mentioned this, but I was a big fan of the powder blue and white uniforms with the angel wings on the A.
Ooh.
I was a real big fan of that. I had a hat like that before. I kept it, but it was just too small for my head, so I couldn't wear it. And if I ever see a retro version of that on like a hat store, I might buy it honestly because I'm a big fan of that one.
Oh, cool.
I never won a ring in those colors, but it's a really good old school hat.
Kind of reminds me of the old the old baby blue Royals uniforms that they would use also. Kind of reminds me of that a little bit. The old logo I actually do really miss, honestly. Well, this is like one of my favorite logos. The Montreal Expos logo. I don't know what it is with it. I loved it so much. Everybody was like, oh, it's just too bland. I loved it for some reason. I don't know why. I would have like bought one if I had the money to do so, just to like actually like the design of it, of the logo, because I don't know. I actually have a Expos design hat on Animal Crossing just to come close to it, but other than that, I would like to sport one in real life, but like I said, that'd be just me.
Yeah, but that was pretty much the background story to me becoming an Angels fan, and like I said, I still have that soft spot for the Dodgers.
You almost became a Dodgers fan too. That's actually kind of shocking.
I did grow up watching them too. So if let's just say if the Angels franchise left today and they were never,
you should make that into like a video, just like how Matt Man almost became a Dodgers fan.
Yeah, Giants fans will throw dislikes on the video.
Yeah, I mean like that should be like a video in its own right. Like that should be like a stream, like just to have like a Q&A session. How did you become an Angels fan? Well, there you go. That was the that's the answer to your question. But real quick here, NBA is supposed to start 7:30. Well, not 7:30. I mean, I guess some games actually. Well, actually, no, they don't. But they start on July 30th. I don't know why I read that as 7:30, but they're supposed to resume at 7:30. Here I go again. My God, at July 30th at 3:30 p.m. and 6 o'clock p.m. Pacific time, which I guess that's how both games are going to get started. So the Lakers will be playing on that day. Well, supposedly everything is supposed to be like well and dandy and not, going out with COVID-19. But yeah, Lakers are playing against the Clippers. That'll be in Staples Center. Doesn't matter, home team, away team. That they're both playing in LA. It's Battle Los Angeles. Yeah, we all know that. But the game before that, Jazz Pelicans will be playing. I don't know. They didn't say what station it was though. But are they going to be playing in LA with Staples? I don't know. They said they're going to be. They said all NBA games are supposed to be in Florida, the training facility, if I'm not mistaken. Maybe I missed that, but I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know about that thing.
I haven't really checked too much into that, but all I know is that the games are going to be resumed on that day, and then July 31st is when everything's gonna probably go down. But
How does that work though? Then, so basically, okay, so the teams that were on the bubble, like, are they just doing like an exhibitions or whatever? Because it's like I thought it would be something like, okay, you guys, okay, the people that are on the bubble right now, y'all are going to be playing games to try to qualify to become the 8th seed. I guess it's like the very, very shortened season, because I think the Kings, if I'm not mistaken, I'm surprised, I'm very happy they were able to make it into that bubble. Barely, but they
just
made
barely.
it.
Just barely.
They're actually playing a team that actually was right there on the bubble with them, and the Spurs to kick it off in San Antonio. I mean, I think it's a grand total of, I want to say 8 games in total. And of course, the Kings end that shortened back end of the season with your boys, the Lakers, in Staples. Allegedly.
Well, if it's at Staples, but who knows?
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be very interesting to say the least. I mean, I hate. It sounds funny me saying that out loud because it's already interesting. It's COVID. Hello. But
well, yeah. Speaking of COVID, and like I was before we, I want to. I'll touch back here on the NBA like here in a little bit, but MLB is also under. Yeah, it's under fire for having all these delayed games being canceled today because of COVID-19, which kind of makes me think about if it gets if it gets a little bit out of hand, will the MLB season actually get canceled for good and just like completely wipe it, slate clean, like clean slate. Nothing happens. We only had like 4 games plays.
I honestly, I mean, well, Florida, I'm not surprised they have such much of an outbreak because they've been known for having the biggest outbreak in the United States of any of the states, right up there with a couple other states, but they're right up there. But my biggest surprise is that you think typically with an outdoor sport that the spread of COVID-19 might be a little less likely. So something happened here in these protocols, because it sounds like just listening to a lot of the team's protocols on radio, their protocols are pretty on point. And they're like there with what public health is saying. There's got to be somebody who was dicking around and probably going, oh, well, let's go have a beer, guys. Let's all gather up in this little room and have a beer. And then all of a sudden they completely forgot about the whole COVID. Do this. Don't be more than 6 feet closer to each other.
California is like on the in the inner core of that because as much as I hate to, it pains me to say it, California has like a bunch of idiots.
Yeah, you can't fix.
That's why number one state with the most COVID cases and death cases of COVID-19, because it passed New York and Florida because we're legit that stupid, and I'm afraid to even go out anymore. But that's besides the point. Yeah, going back to the NBA though, I don't think it'll cancel. Well, I mean, if there's something that I've seen some worse things that have happened, like if they cancel again, like before like the playoffs start, then what's the point of trying to keep going though? Like, I'm a fan of second chances, but if they mess up the second chance right here, and then yeah, that's basically it though. Sports are kind of like dead to me, at least for this year,
I think they really gotta try to push forward with it. I mean, a weekend you kind of had to expect that something like this was going to happen. Maybe not to this degree, but they really had to expect that. It's like John, our friend from PlayStation, was saying. It's not a matter of if we're going to get COVID; it's when. When are you going to get COVID? Unfortunately, that's just the facts of life. You're going to get it. But
unless you like really take care of yourself and stay away from other like people that are infected by it. But you got to be smart. Can't
put yourself
just
in
like
that bubble, man.
Yeah. Put yourself in a bubble with people surrounding yourself with COVID-19. That's just not how the world works. But on that note, anything else you want to add, or is that you want to just end it off right there?
I would say I am still kind of anxiously as a hockey fan, which I know a lot of people that watch the podcast are hockey fans. I'm really anxious to when this thing's going to start with them too. I mean, they've been doing this round robin thing, and they've, I mean, to end on a hilarious note, of course, they announced their 32nd NHL franchise. Seattle is the Seattle Kraken. I mean,
I actually like the logo. I actually like the logo for it, though. I think the logo is actually pretty cool, though. I mean, the name could have been a little bit better, but the Seattle Kraken logo, I actually do like the design for it. Like, I actually did look at it. It was on Twitter. They dropped it like on Sports Center on Twitter. I actually did really enjoy that logo. I think it looks really, really cool with the colors and design
He's
for
gonna
it.
take some time to get used to for me, but honestly, I think they're gonna be okay.
You'll like it. You'll like it. I've already accepted the fact that it actually does look. I fell in love with it. I would actually would rock a hat like that though. Honestly.
I'm gonna say that they're probably not gonna have nearly as improbable of a season like the Vegas Golden Knights did, because they're pretty sure their draft is probably not gonna be as stacked as Vegas Golden Knights were.
Oh yeah, they'll be like they're number one in the draft, obviously. Well, I don't know. I think no, they're not number one in the draft. I actually take that back. Yeah, because it's gonna be who was number one.
The qualifier for qualifying round loser will become the number one pick in the draft.
Oh,
so,
okay. Yeah, that kind of
confused
confused me for a second. I don't remember how that worked, honestly, because it's been a while. But
well, I would wish that the LA Kings should have gotten the number one pick in the draft, but I won't be bitter there. You know, good job, Gary Bettman, as usual.
I mean, he's not bitter. I mean, he says that now, but
yeah, and unless the person that gets chosen number one overall turns into like a Wayne Gretzky of hockey, then I'll be very bitter. But anyways,
well, yeah. So. Anyways, nothing else for me to add here, so I'm just going to say thank you guys so much for tuning in to the podcast, and like always, this will be uploaded pretty much by Wednesday, if not, Thursday at the latest, but like I said, it'll probably most likely be Wednesday, but thank you guys so much for tuning in, replay, live, whatever, thank you guys so much for stopping by, and if you guys, like on the YouTube side, if you want to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on the post notifications, so that way you'll never miss an upload or live stream I do on that channel. But I mostly live stream on Twitch though, so I'll leave the uploads to YouTube. So Matt is also a streamer, but again, he mentioned that he's not going to be streaming for a while due to personal life concerns, and that's, like I said, completely understand that. Been there before, done that before. So, anyways, love you guys. Catch you next time. #Pugbark. Bye.